what is your goal here? What is it that you really want? I think you want this. I want that. Isn't that right?
Well, I think,
how
look,
honest are you in that point, rather than saying, I'm not going to comment on our goals?
I'm not quite sure it's a question of honesty. I think it's more a question of what information that you strategically decide you should disclose. Now if you lie about your goals, now it's a question of honesty, now it's a question of trustworthiness, now it's a question of credibility. In some negotiations, you absolutely want to lay your cards out on the table. You're in a partnership or in a potential partnership with another entity. You do need to lay out what are our interests, what are our needs, what are our goals, where do we see this partnership going in the next 2, 3, 5 years. If you're trying to raise money from angel investors on behalf of a small high-tech company, your high-tech company should be talking about their vision, about their goals, their interests, and they should be laying their cards out on the table. Doesn't mean that you're going to say exactly where you want to be at the end of the day in a very specific way, but you need to be more transparent and more forthcoming and more sharing of information. Now, in other negotiations, you're going to hold your cards very close to your vest, and you should hold your cards close to your vest. Perhaps you do deflect questions when they ask about your goals or interests. Maybe you do answer a question with a question, right? Or you answer a very specific question in a general way, or you simply say, look, as a matter of policy, we don't share information about how much money we anticipate we will have to pay, if a strike occurs in a labor or a collective bargaining environment. So it really depends on the nature of the negotiation, and perhaps the most important factor that should drive that decision about how forthcoming you should be is whether or not your client anticipates, wants a future relationship with the other party. If they're going to be working together with them on a consistent basis, they really need to be more forthcoming. On the other hand, if it's a one-shot deal, it's a zero-sum type negotiation, you're buying a company, you're going to turn around and sell its assets, it's purely a profit play, probably going to hold your cards a little bit more close to your vest.
One of the goals,
or you should.